Is Jon Jones a good guy trying to be bad, or a bad guy trying to be good? Very good question asked by a journalist straight to Jon Jones's face. I absolutely love the chadness of that journalist. Asked that to probably one of the most psychotic and also the most dangerous men that walks the face of this planet. It's a very interesting question, but we have some new Jon Jones news that just came out. Apparently, he's been arrested. He's came out and said that that is not true, but the charges that are being levied against him is that he has threatened a drug collection officer as a part of the new drug collection agency that is in bed with the UFC. They came to his house when he was celebrating a birthday party for a friend. Jones allegedly threatened the officer and her life. He says that that was not the case. Things got heated and that he had been drinking. He posted a video seemingly absolving him of them both high-fiving and Jones giving the male officer a pat on the back. And so now we have the current stage to set this question up. Are we ever going to see Jon Jones become a better human being? Like an overall more well-rounded and more holistic person? What's going on, guys? It is your boy here, of course, the combat consultant, the soundboard guy, Jacob Cooperman. Just not a good look overall for Bones and a legacy of what's been pretty similar to this, unfortunately. It seems like whenever Jones gets his hands on a belt, he just has to absolutely act a fool. I actually looked it up. He's been arrested 5 times. This would be his alleged 6th. And of course, he's had all those drug run-ins with the USADA agencies, like hiding under the cage. There was a grisly case at the time that he hit a pregnant woman with his car and went back to get his bong and fled the scene. So Jones is no stranger to having a history of, at the very least, you could call it mucking himself up. At the most, I think you could call it just being a bad person. It doesn't seem like Jones is a guy that shows a lot of remorse, which I'm sure does play a factor in his cage fighting ability, right? He's absolutely ruthless when he steps into the octagon, and it seems like that trait that he has extends far from outside the cage. And now comes his latest snafu that was a result of him not being able to piss when the drug collection officer came to get his urine sample. But you know what? Instead of trying to pontificate on whether or not Jones is guilty of doing these things, I instead want to talk about the idea of Jon Jones being a better person or getting better. Now, he's getting up there in age. And I feel like a lot of the times earlier in his career when he was the light heavyweight champion of the world, when he was going on this historic title run and he had the Nike deal, you could chalk this up to being a young kid, to partying, the pressures of the world are getting to you, you're the first MMA athlete to be signed by Nike. Even then, it's inexcusable. And all those bad things that happened, him hitting a pregnant woman with his car, threatening police, these are not morally upstanding things, but it's a spin-off of his rampant, it seems like alcoholism that he has and has had throughout his entire career. When he was younger, though, he might get a little bit more of a pass. I guess that's the same way of saying it, because he's younger. But now when he's 36 and his wife is getting locked out of hotel rooms, they're finding her with blood on her face. At what point does Jones hang up his extravagant party lifestyle? And is this an extravagant party lifestyle, or is this Jones drinking himself blind because he has to run from his past? That's the thing that kind of sticks out to me, is I don't think we're seeing the same Jones that was partying like crazy when he was younger. You can't feel good if you're Jon Jones about the things that you've done, right? I think even a guy like him should have some sort of understanding that what he's done is absolutely horrible. Over the course of his career, I mean, he's been marred in nothing but controversy. And it would make it hard, I think, for any respectable athlete to look back on their career, despite all the positives, and say, yeah, that was like a fulfilling career. Yeah, one of my fights got overturned because I popped for PEDs. Yeah, there's all these things that Jones could look back on and say, wow, this was a really, really shitty part of my career. Something, you know what? The best way I would describe it, Jones has had like 9 TJ Dillashaw moments in his career, where TJ Dillashaw has had 1. Like Jones's entire career has just been wrapped up in this garbage bag of smelly, shitty controversy, and that has to take a toll on him. The fact that you hit a pregnant woman with your car and you were so cowardly that the only thing you ran back to get was your bong, that has to stick with you. Does Jones want to be better? I don't really think so. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. Can he be better? I'm not sure. I think it'll be one of these things where Jones just gets older and he stops doing all that belligerent stuff, or his body stops letting him do all that belligerent stuff, because that shit catches up to you, man. I haven't really tried anything like that. I smoke every once in a while. I don't drink, and I've certainly not tried coke or any of that other stuff. But I can only imagine how the yayo catches up with you, the drinking catches up with you. I mean, man, right after his Hall of Fame induction, he got in trouble with the law. You don't think that Jones is looking back on that and saying, man, fuck, Like, I wish I had done that differently. I mean, listen, there's only one vibe that Jon Jones is giving me right now, and it's the sad, depressed, old alcoholic vibe. I think Jon Jones is a bad guy trying to pretend that he's good to himself and to other people. While I'm not going to deny that he's a wildly talented athlete inside the cage, it seems like he's one of those guys that just has so much natural talent and has a knack for destroying it. Destroying his legacy, erasing all of his hard work. He's just one of those guys that's really good at being terrible. He's just the guy that controversy follows. He can't seem to get himself out of these storm cloudy type situations. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I just wanted to give my reaction, my general thoughts on the situation and kind of give a macro look instead of just talking about the situation itself because we don't really know that much. Besides the fact that Jones says he hasn't been arrested and all these major news sites are reporting the fact that he has, there's a bunch of back and forth and I'm sure we're going to learn more soon. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been your boy, the combat consultant, the soundboard guy, Jacob Koopman. Deuces.